Alright then, I've got a new lens on the camera, hopefully there's a difference, and it's better. Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, host Jan. I hope you are all doing well, man. I really do hope that. I guess this is your match preview of Chelsea's FA Cup game against Luton Town. Very little admin to get through in the intro today, so I just urge you all to subscribe to this channel, Football Therapy. If you dig daily Chelsea content, consider hitting the bell notifications icon, and if you want to support your boy with his new beautiful lens, it looks great, please do drop a like. Alright then, let's get into today's video. Right, turbulent, apocalyptic times here at Chelsea Football Club. No one knows what's gonna happen. It does seem like Frank Lampard could be a dead man walking, certainly with recent results. I am trying to maintain a balanced view, because I do have an undying love for Frank Lampard, but I'm also a man of tactics and objectivity, and I see difficulty and moments of him looking way in above his head. Is that a phrase? Anyway, it's very, very difficult at the moment. If you watch previous videos, I've gone into detail about how I thought Frank Lampard's done a very good job last season, shown promise in his tactical approaches, but it's looked really devoid of confidence of late, as has the players, the new players, and it's all a bit difficult, poor, in what is an incredibly peculiar season. Shout out to Burnley FC for beating Liverpool at Anfield 1-0, breaking the curse. We're just 5 points behind the champions in late January. Context is required, of course. Required, of course, is what I'm trying to say. But it just further demonstrates of what a peculiar season we're in at the moment. I mean, Manchester United are top of the league. Well, there must be something strange going on. Anyway, Chelsea are playing Luton on Sunday. Early doors, first kickoff. Frank Lampard did his pre-match press conference, and oh boy, it was entertaining. Yeah, Lampard's annoyed. I feel like perhaps he feels he has relative backing. He shot back at the Athletic journalist Liam Twomey regarding player performances. He sort of cited some work he's done regarding criticism of the new signings that Frank Lampard didn't approve of, and he had a bit of bite in his response. I think personally that was also him venting his frustrations, not about that said article in isolation, but perhaps the Athletic also publishing articles, speculating on his replacements, which I get why they do it, they're journalists, it's their job, but you can also understand why he's frustrated. And Frank Lampard, as a man, as a player, always stood up for himself and spoke very well, and seemingly he's continued that into his managerial career. He doesn't want to sit up there as a passive observer while all this is being said about him. He wants to stand up for himself, and it was actually quite inspirational press conference in many ways for me, because he's taking control. He's like, look, I understand exactly what you're saying. I know what I'm doing here. I know what the expectations are. I'm in communication with the club. I'm focusing on this. We need to get better. We will get better. I want to believe him. But he has to show us Chelsea fans at this point reasons to believe him. He also spoke about his connection with the club after he was posed the question, or they spoke about the banner going up at Stamford Bridge that a bunch of Chelsea fans have made to show their support. And without going over the top, he says, I appreciate it. Everyone who knows me or my time at Chelsea knows what this club means to me. So I'm very thankful and appreciative of that. But he didn't get too sentimental. He was like, look, nonsense to all that. We need to sort out what's going on the pitch. And for me, I'm at the point now where I'd completely understand if he got sacked, if he already had been sacked. I would understand that. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it, but I understand it, and at the same time I understand why they're persisting with him, with the Petr Cech, Jody Morris, Frank Lampard trifecta, the academy, the way they work at the moment systemically as a club. They really did want to invest in how this is structured, the formulaic way of running Chelsea at the moment. So I understand why perhaps they didn't, give him the bullet yet as well. But if he really does want to turn this around, he's got to do it darn quickly and show some serious promise, and the players, he needs to get more out of the players. So, Chelsea are playing Luton. First kickoff, 12 PM on Sunday. Luton are a second division team, so they're still a 6th division team in the FA Cup in this round. So it's a difficult opposition in terms of they are in the Championship. They're not near the top, but they're in a good run of form, which obviously is the opposite of Chelsea. And they will fancy themselves to come to Chelsea, play them in the FA Cup with the pressure completely off their shoulders to do their thing, which is a very dangerous and deadly opponent in this instance. I mean, of course, it goes without saying it's a must-win. And even if Chelsea win convincingly like Morecambe, it's like, it doesn't mean anything. It's like, okay, yeah, good. Now move on and let's get back to the real stuff in the Premier League, in the Champions League. But, you know, if there's some confidence back, Morecambe, whether you like it or not, or whether you respect the win that much or not, it was still valuable for a certain amount of reasons. The scoreline was, yes. You know, what's Morecambe? The minimum is a 2-0, you know, and it ended up as a 4-0, which is like, yeah, over average, happy, but that's it. And it was more about player performances and instilling confidence, and Chelsea need confidence at that moment. So if certain players can come away from that feeling better, chemistry's developed, a little, you know, I don't know, like Timo Werner hat-trick. Do you know what I mean? Just little things to just make them feel better about themselves to take into the Premier League in the following game or whatever. So I'm going to talk about and speculate on a lineup. It's so difficult to guess at the moment, purely because it's not going to be that heavily rotated, I don't think, because Frank will probably do the same thing as Morecambe, play like a rotated but still strong side to try and continue instilling confidence. So anyway, let's switch screens and have a look at a lineup that I've built. Right then, here we go. In goal, Edouard Mendy, of course. I don't think Kepa would be risked ever again in this season, to be honest. At centre-back, I'm going to put in Christensen and Zuma. A new centre-back partnership that I'm not sure we've seen this season, which might cause trouble, but I think Christensen will absolutely expect to start this game. And the fact how Rudiger's apparently now first choice, Zuma, who had been playing well all season, should absolutely demand to play this game as well. So I've made a centre-back partnership of Christensen and Zuma. I think in the fullback positions we'll see Azpilicueta, and I do think Emerson Palmieri will start because Frank looks like he does want to keep him a little bit warm in case something happens to Chilwell, like an injury or fatigue. He needs to know he can rely on Emerson. It's a Championship team, man. This is the opportunity to play him. I know that you might want to really go with Reece James and Chilwell again, just get them into form, get them into confidence, and I'd kind of understand if he played his first choice fullbacks. But I still think we're going to see Emerson and Azpilicueta. My oh my, please play Billy Gilmour. He needs to start this game, and if he has another good game here in the 6th, another man of the match award or whatever, play him in the Premier League, man. Just play him. So Billy Gilmour starts at the base of midfield for me. Ooh, Havertz has to start, doesn't he? Like, he has to start Kai Havertz, because if he's not starting in the Premier League, you got to start against the Championship side in the FA Cup. I think Mount will also play, if provided he's good to go, because he has been playing well lately in every single game and his energy doesn't seem to be running out. So Billy Gilmour flanked by Kai Havertz and Mason Mount. Tammy Abraham's been starting in the Premier League of late, so I think Timo Werner will start up front. Down the middle in this game, I think Hudson-Odoi deserves a left wing start because he always plays so much better there for me. And on the right wing, provided he's good to go, Hakim Ziyech again. Yes, Tino Andrin's been training with the first team. I expect him to be a bench appearance, or come off the bench rather, sub appearance, once Chelsea hopefully have a foothold in the game. And that'll be my starting 11, so hopefully, you know, that's pretty darn strong, right? Anyway, let's move on and talk about the game a little bit more. Right then, obviously, this is a must-win game. If Chelsea get eliminated from the FA Cup by Luton, I don't think there's any saving Frank Lampard now. I don't want to be dramatic, but I don't think that's being dramatic at this point. Even if the club have said they're going to sit through this to the end of the season no matter what, I just feel like surely the narrative, the optics, the aesthetics, you know, I find it very difficult for me to ever say I want Frank Lampard to be fired from Chelsea, because I don't think I'd ever want that. It's just I've just got this, like, I mean, I'll understand why anyone else would want that, and I'm not criticising anyone for that, but I have to be honest, man. This is my YouTube channel. I'm not, you know, disrespectful to anyone. I've just got to be honest about how I feel, and that's how I feel. But I'd understand how it might, you know, there might not be a decision to be made anymore. It might just have to happen. But let's think positively. Chelsea should put Luton Town to the sword. And, you know, they should go into this all guns blazing and be like, right, take your anger out on this second division side. It's a 12 PM kickoff, and I hate those no matter what, whether it's Premier League, FA Cup, whatever. It's always a really frustrating time for me. I used to hate it going to them because you won't be able to get drunk at that time, so the crowd's not as loud. Anyway, I'm going to do a score prediction. They have been playing really well, Luton, and they're in a good run of form, and they've got a good coach at the moment who's doing a good job. I think 3-1 Chelsea, I'm going to predict as a scoreline. 3-1 to the Blues. Hopefully, like, you know, a Havertz, Werner goal, stat pad, here we go, stat pad FC, and just a little bit of grit, some good combinations, and some positivity on the pitch. If Chelsea win that, they win another, next Premier League game. We're playing Wolves soon. If we win that, and then we win the next FA Cup game, slowly belief can be built up, but it's going to be incredibly difficult at this point. Just because I want Frank Lampard to succeed, right now, I don't believe he will succeed, but I'm open to the opportunity for him to convince me or for him to give me belief, and hopefully you are too as Chelsea fans, just being open to it. Even if you have an opinion, which you're absolutely entitled to, of he needs to go right now, if he wins a few games, try and open your mind to potential positivity that it could maybe just believe in it, do you know what I mean? Anyway, let me know your score predictions down below and your lineups. Cool, man. Please do drop a like if you've enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, enjoy the football, and I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.